In this episode of AA Illustrates, I get to sit down with our CTO, none other than Prince Kohli. And I'm excited to have a conversation with you because I geek out about you and I chatting. Before the mics were on, we've been chatting for a while now. It's always great to be able to talk to you, get your perspectives, and understand more about how you and the product team are envisioning the future of work. Within the last year, there's been a lot of releases that have generative AI capabilities baked into them. Mm-hmm. Beyond the ability to connect to an LLM of your choice, there's now a lot of features that actually have LLM capabilities baked in, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. Talk to me about some of the capabilities within the platform where we're starting to introduce some of this artificial intelligence.
So we have quite a few examples of that. So I would start off by, let's say, we think of as a start from the user, life of a user. One of the most common use cases for them is understanding the written word, right? And the written word could be in a document, in an email, in a JPEG, PDF, invoice, it doesn't matter, right? We read all the time and we parse and we say, what do I do about it? We have document automation that is basically, from day one, essentially AI and Gen AI. And it will figure out the context of the written word, the context of the document, and will take all that into account to generate the meaning of that. But that is just the first part of it. What we can then do is take action based on that, because now we understand it. It's not just, it's not OCR. And we said, this is what happened. And therefore, I must do this based on some set of business logics, and then not just take an action and then stop, but follow up. Right? I need to send them a credit card. I need to follow up the credit card reach. I need to make sure, the UPS delivered it. All that can now be done by these bots running, or set of bots that are stringed together, which then makes a process. And Gen AI allows us to do that in a very simple and easy and real-time way.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think even beyond just the context of what we're extracting from a document, there's also things that come out like meaning and tone. Things that humans would otherwise be evaluating, right? If I get an email from someone and it's like kind of harsh, I take that differently than an email that's maybe written in a nicer way. We can use automations for doing that kind of thing. Yeah. The other thing that I really like about the process approach is that I can technically build a process today that has, let's say, 5 steps in it. 3 of them are automated, 2 of them are human. I could improve that process in the future to start including autonomous agents in there, right? Who might be doing a first stab at doing this data entry or evaluating this certain situation. And I can still send those tasks to a human for review.
That's right.
And I think I want to hear your most forward-looking thoughts. Like, are we going to get to a world where we start to have these autonomous agents sending tasks to humans and humans sending tasks to autonomous agents and working together?
So the interesting part over there, and the most fun part, is that's not the future. That's where we are today, right? So today we already can do that. And what is even more interesting is you can describe a process in natural language. Yeah. The process gets created for you, and it will actually create the bots and the software that you don't even see in the background. It is created, and you can say, I need to have this part of the process being approved by the human under these conditions. Yeah. If the approval is more than $25,000, please send them to administrator 1, right? Whatever it may be, right? And do it via email or do it via Salesforce, whatever your business logic is. And then you can keep on growing it. You can keep on handling exceptions if you want, or handling specific, subclasses. To me, the most exciting part, and I keep on bringing this analogy up for years and years, to me, automation is the old Star Trek model, right? I just love it. You say, computer, do this, right? And the computer says, yes, sir. And the computer goes and then does the 300 million things required to start the engine and to warm up the warp drives. I don't even know. And the left nacelle is always broken, so it has to figure it out. The starboard or port, it has to figure all that out. That's where actually we are in many ways.
So Prince, I know that you work with a lot of other executives. You've worked with them for years talking about what's possible with automation anywhere. That's changed a lot in the last year, right? Now that we're starting to see automation plus generative AI come together, talk to me about what you're telling them is possible now the impact it's having for them, and what they can expect to see when they're combining the capabilities of generative AI plus automation anywhere.
What was art of the possible is now becoming art of the actual. So with Gen AI and automation, many of the things that they would dream of, right, suddenly have become real. I'll give you an example. I can't name customers, too many customers, but there are some well-known examples now where customers are already promising to save up to $100 million in 3 weeks, $1 billion in a year. These are not small numbers. These are massive numbers. These would never be possible. So 10-20% of the IT budget, suddenly they say, I can now do better. I would say that one of the biggest changes that we have seen over the last many months is an increase in the power of the people. Because now automation, they don't have to go to an automation, they don't have to search for these things. Automation and this new way of being able to handle anything around them is coming to them. And the accessibility of automation to people has increased, therefore the impact they have on their environment has increased. Automatically the company feels much more productive and also happier, I feel.
Yeah.
I think the CXOs have seen that already. If you look at some of the people we have talked to, they are asking us what more can they do in this, and they're talking big numbers, big impacts. So feel very proud of what we're bringing to the table.
Absolutely. And no one's automating tasks that they love doing. They're getting rid of the tasks that they don't like doing,
that's
right?
absolutely true.
That's for sure a great point.
And to be clear, getting automation to people, bringing it closer to them is not about a better spell check, right? Writing a better macro. It is about being able to run maybe foundries end to end, being able to run manufacturing lines end to end, being able to control an entire build process for a widget. So it's real automation for real processes that people deal with every day.
That's right, like a whole business function, right? It's not just a part of it. It's end to end. I like that.
That's right.